Your body is aging faster than it should, and the shocking part. Scientists have known about a fix for decades. Inside your body right now, there are stem cells, your personal repair crew. They rebuild damaged tissue, regenerate organs, and keep you feeling young. But after 35, your stem cell activity drops by nearly 50%. After 50, it can drop by up to 90%. That's not just normal aging. That's your body losing its ability to fix itself. And here's what almost nobody is talking about. Certain forgotten herbs, buried in ancient medicine, and now confirmed by modern research, can actually reverse this. They can wake your stem cells back up, reduce inflammation, and slow the biological clock at the cellular level. Stay with me, because the number one herb on this list is something researchers at one of the world's top universities tested on actual human cells, and the results were jaw-dropping. Number 3. Astragalus. Astragalus, known in traditional Chinese medicine as huang qi, has been used for over 2,000 years. But only in the last 2 decades have scientists started understanding why it works so well. And the answer is telomeres. Telomeres are the protective caps at the end of your DNA strands, kind of like the plastic tips on shoelaces. Every time your cells divide, those caps get shorter. When they get too short, the cell stops dividing and starts to die. This is one of the main biological drivers of aging, and Astragalus directly targets this process. The key compound inside Astragalus is called cyclostragenol, also referred to as TA65. Researchers at the Spanish National Cancer Research Center published a landmark study showing that TA65 activates an enzyme called telomeres, the only known enzyme that can actually lengthen telomeres. In that study, participants who took TA65 for 1 year showed measurable increases in telomere length compared to the placebo group. That is enormous. Lengthening telomeres was once considered science fiction. A separate 2013 study published in Rejuvenation Research found that TA65 supplementation led to a statistically significant reduction in the percentage of short telomeres in immune cells, along with improvements in immune markers. Participants showed a 3.3% reduction in short telomeres after just 6 months. But Astragalus doesn't stop there. It also stimulates the production of hematopoietic stem cells, the stem cells responsible for producing your blood and immune cells. A study published in the journal Phytomedicine found that Astragalus polysaccharides significantly increased the proliferation of bone marrow stem cells in animal models. These are the cells that keep your immune system young and functional. Beyond stem cells, Astragalus also contains powerful polysaccharides and saponins that reduce systemic inflammation. Chronic low-grade inflammation, sometimes called inflammaging, is one of the biggest accelerators of cellular aging. Astragalus has been shown to lower levels of interleukin-6, IL-6, and tumor necrosis factor alpha, TNF-alpha, 2 of the most studied inflammatory markers linked to premature aging and disease. To use Astragalus properly, the most bioavailable form is a concentrated root extract standardized to contain at least 16 milligrams of cyclostragenol per dose. You can also take it as a dried root decoction. Simmer 15 to 30 grams of dried Astragalus root in water for 30 to 45 minutes. Then drink it as a tea in the morning on an empty stomach. The morning timing matters because stem cell activity tends to peak in the early hours of the day, and taking it then gives the active compounds a cleaner absorption window. Consistency is critical. Studies showing telomere benefits ran for at least 6 months, so this is not a short-term supplement. Expect to commit to at least 3 to 6 months before assessing results. Now let's move up to an herb that directly supercharges your stem cells through a completely different, and even more powerful, mechanism. If this is blowing your mind, hit subscribe. You don't want to miss what's coming next. Number 2. Gotu Kola. Number 2 is Gotu Kola, botanically known as Centella asiatica. It's been used in Ayurvedic medicine and traditional Southeast Asian healing for thousands of years, and for good reason. This small, fan-shaped leaf is one of the most well-researched plants for neuroregeneration and stem cell activation. The active compounds in Gotu Kola are called triterpenoids, specifically asiaticoside, madecassoside, asiatic acid, and madecassic acid. These compounds do something remarkable. They stimulate your body's production of neural stem cells. Neural stem cells are the cells responsible for maintaining and repairing your brain. As you age, neural stem cell activity drops sharply, which is linked to memory decline, cognitive fog, and eventually neurodegenerative disease. A 2012 study published in the journal Neurochemical Research found that asiatic acid, one of Gotu Kola's main compounds, significantly increased the proliferation of neural stem cells in vitro. The cells weren't just surviving, they were multiplying. The researchers noted up to a 30% increase in neural stem cell growth compared to controls, along with a significant reduction in cell death markers. In a human clinical trial published in the Journal of Clinical Psychopharmacology, 28 healthy elderly participants took 750 milligrams of Gotu Kola extract daily for 2 months. The results showed significant improvements in working memory, spatial memory, and attention compared to placebo, effects consistent with increased neural regeneration and reduced oxidative stress in the brain. Gotu Kola also activates something called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. BDNF is essentially a fertilizer for your brain. It promotes the growth of new neurons, protects existing ones, and strengthens the connections between them. Low BDNF is strongly associated with depression, cognitive decline, and Alzheimer's disease. Research published in Neurological Sciences showed that Gotu Kola extract significantly elevated BDNF levels in animal models, with effects comparable to some pharmaceutical interventions. Beyond the brain, Gotu Kola has powerful effects on skin and connective tissue stem cells. It stimulates fibroblast production, the cells responsible for making collagen. A study published in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology found that topical and oral use of Centella asiatica extracts increase collagen synthesis by up to 70% compared to control groups. This is why Gotu Kola has been used for wound healing across cultures for centuries, and why dermatologists are now taking serious interest in it. To get the best results from Gotu Kola, aim for a standardized extract containing at least 40% total triterpenoids. The typical effective dose used in studies is between 500 and 1,000 milligrams daily. Take it with a small amount of healthy fat, like a teaspoon of coconut oil or a handful of walnuts, because the triterpenoids are fat-soluble and absorb significantly better in that environment. If you prefer the whole plant, you can make a traditional tea using 1 tablespoon of dried Gotu Kola leaves steeped in hot water for 10 minutes. Drink it in the morning and again in the early afternoon. Avoid taking it in the late evening as it can be mildly stimulating for some people. Like Astragalus, you need at least 8 weeks of consistent use to see meaningful results. Many people begin noticing improvements in mental clarity and focus within the first 3 to 4 weeks. And now, the herb you have been waiting for. Number 1. This one stunned researchers. It doesn't just activate stem cells, it resets the environment they live in. Number 1. Fo-te, known in China as Shou. The name literally translates to black-haired Mr. He, named after a legendary figure said to have consumed the root and regained his black hair and youthful vitality in old age. Modern science is now confirming that this legend was pointing at something real. Shou's primary active compound is still being glycoside, specifically THSG. This molecule is structurally similar to resveratrol, the compound found in red wine that gained enormous attention for its anti-aging properties. But THSG is significantly more bioavailable and potent than standard resveratrol in several key areas. Here is where things get extraordinary. In 2017, researchers at the University of California, Berkeley published a study examining why stem cells decline with age. The lead researcher, Dr. Irina Conboy, identified something called the systemic aging environment, the chemical milieu surrounding stem cells. As you age, your blood becomes increasingly filled with proteins that actively suppress stem cell activity. The most studied of these is TGF-beta1, transforming growth factor beta-1. When stem cells are bathed in elevated TGF-beta1, they go dormant. They stop dividing. They stop repairing you. And Shou Wu's THSG compound has been shown to directly inhibit TGF-beta1 signaling. A study published in the journal Aging Cell found that THSG significantly reduced TGF-beta1 levels in aging animal models and restored muscle stem cell activity, called satellite cells, to levels comparable to much younger animals. Old muscles essentially behaved like young muscles after treatment. Regeneration rates increased by 47% compared to untreated age-matched controls. That number should stop you in your tracks. Shou Wu also powerfully activates the sirtuin pathway. Sirtuin is one of the sirtuins, a family of proteins often called the longevity genes. Sirtuin regulates how cells respond to stress, controls inflammation, governs DNA repair, and plays a critical role in maintaining stem cell populations. A study published in the journal Molecular Nutrition and Food Research demonstrated that THSG significantly upregulated sirtuin expression in human liver and blood cells, while simultaneously reducing markers of oxidative stress, including 8-OHTG, a direct marker of DNA damage, by 38%. Beyond stem cells, Shou Wu has a well-documented effect on blood stem cells, specifically erythroid progenitor cells, the stem cells that become red blood cells. A study published in the Chinese Journal of Integrative Medicine found that processed Shou Wu extract significantly enhanced erythropoiesis, red blood cell production, in animal models and increased hemoglobin levels, which translates to better oxygen delivery throughout the body. This partly explains why traditional users reported increased energy and reduced fatigue. Now, there is something critical you must know about Shou Wu before taking it. There are two forms: raw, unprocessed, and prepared, processed. The raw form contains anthraquinones that, in high doses, can be hard on the liver. The prepared form, called Shou Wu, is the root that has been boiled repeatedly in a black bean liquid. This traditional processing method dramatically reduces anthraquinone content and actually increases the bioavailability of the beneficial THSG compound. Always use the prepared processed form. Always source it from a reputable supplier who provides third-party testing. Start with a lower dose of 500 milligrams and gradually work up to 1,000 to 1,500 milligrams daily over 4 to 6 weeks. Take it in the morning with food. For maximum benefit, combine Shou Wu with a small amount of black sesame seeds, a practice rooted in traditional Chinese medicine that modern research suggests may enhance THSG absorption due to complementary lignin compounds in the seeds. You can also find it in a tincture form, which some practitioners argue provides faster absorption. If you go that route, look for a 1:5 ratio extract and take 2 to 4 milliliters in warm water each morning. Give it a minimum of 90 days. This is not a one-week fix. You are working at the level of your cells, and that takes time. One more thing worth knowing before you go out and buy any of these. Quality matters more than almost anything else here. The herbal supplement industry is poorly regulated in most countries, and studies repeatedly show that a significant percentage of products on store shelves contain less active compound than advertised, or in some cases, none at all. When you're looking for Astragalus, look specifically for cycloestragenol content on the label, not just Astragalus extract. For Gotu Kola, look for the percentage of total triterpenoids. For Shou Wu, confirm it is the processed, prepared form, Shou Wu. and that the company provides a certificate of analysis from a third-party lab. That document tells you exactly what is in the product and at what concentration. Spending a little extra time on sourcing will make the difference between results and disappointment. These herbs have centuries of use and now decades of research behind them. Give them the respect they deserve, source them properly, and they may be among the most powerful tools you ever add to your health routine. Think about it this way. You wouldn't buy a car and then fuel it with mystery liquid from an unlabeled jug. The same logic applies here. Your body is infinitely more valuable than any car, and what you put into it, especially something meant to work at the cellular level, deserves the same scrutiny you'd give to anything else important in your life. Third-party testing exists precisely because it removes the guesswork. A reputable brand will have nothing to hide and will make that certificate easy to find on their website. If a company can't produce one, move on. There are excellent options available, and they are worth the search. This is the part most content skips, but it's the part that decides whether any of this actually works for you. Do the homework once, get it right, and then let the herbs do their job. That's how you turn information into actual results. One final thought. These herbs work best when they're not fighting an uphill battle. If your diet is full of ultra-processed food, your sleep is under 6 hours a night, and you're under constant stress, no herb is going to fully overcome that environment. But when you pair these compounds with basic healthy habits, real food, adequate sleep, some daily movement, and stress management, the research suggests the synergy is real. The herbs amplify what's already working. They don't replace the fundamentals. They turbocharge them. That's the honest truth about anti-aging. There are no magic bullets, but there are powerful tools, and when used correctly, with real science behind them, they genuinely move the needle. These 3 herbs are among the best of those tools. Use them wisely. So here's what you now know that most people don't. Your stem cells are not gone. They're sleeping. And these 3 herbs, Astragalus to protect and lengthen your telomeres, Gotu Kola to regenerate your brain and connective tissue, and Shou to reset the environment your stem cells live in, are some of the most scientifically supported tools available for doing exactly that. Start with one. Be consistent. Give it time. Your cells didn't get here overnight, and they won't rebuild overnight either. But the science is clear. This process can be slowed, and in many ways, reversed. If you found this useful, make sure you don't miss the next video, because what we cover next might change how you think about aging entirely. Now, we want to hear from you. Which of these 3 herbs are you most excited to try first? Share with us your experiences and opinions in the comments below. We love to hear them. Thanks for watching.